Hello everyone, today we'll be going through some terminologies of Wuthering Waves. Hopefully this will answer most questions you might have regarding the technical terms in the lore. However, there will be parts that are still up in the air and not fully defined, so I'll be providing my own interpretation of them. Shout out to the homies in the official Discord for their insights on some of these. Let's begin. First, let's start with Solaris-3, also known as Sol-3. This is the world we'll be exploring in Wuthering Waves. There are currently 6 nations that reside on Sol-3, but we only know 2 of them officially. First is Huanglong, second is the New Federation. You can argue we know the third, Sepunia, that was briefly mentioned in the closed beta testing 1, but as of release, I don't recall any information on it. It all started with the Lament. Think of it as something like the Big Bang, a named event that changes everything. In this case, new things and rules emerged from the Lament. Everything became frequency based and much more. It is very difficult to explain what the Lament is as the game keeps it very vague, but the Lament is still happening. The world is still experiencing changes all over Sol-3. With the Lament came the Waveworn Phenomena. This is a generalized term for anomalies such as Tacet Field, Retroact Rain, Etheric Sea, gravity loss, a strange matter called Tacetite, and many more. These anomalies eat away at Sol-3. Research on them are still being done to this day in the story. Example of it is the Jiyon's companion quest talking about how the Waveworn Phenomena is more complicated than they thought. Before we explain the different types of Waveworn Phenomena, let's revisit the term remnant energy. Remnant energy is a type of pure frequency energy that records information. When they decay, they become something called reverberation. Storing remnant energy in a small dimension gives you something called a sonarosphere. A sonarosphere is a realm of illusions. Things in here are not real, but remnants of the past. Moving on to Tacetite, it's a substance that contains remnant energy. This is what is used to make weapons for Resonators, allowing them to harm Tacet Discord. It has an innate property to absorb frequencies and can be used as an energy source. Next, we have something called Retroact Rain. The rain droplets are condensed remnant energy. It has 3 phases: regular rain, still water droplets, and then shooting upwards. They originate from the Etheric Sea. The Etheric Sea is an abnormal weather that resembles an upside-down ocean surface. It eventually leads to Retroact Rain. When it appears, that means a Tacet Field is about to form on the ground. A Tacet Field is thought to be where all Tacet Discord originates. They have dormant periods depending on the formation time. The shorter the formation time, the longer the dormant period. However, the longer the dormant period, the stronger the Tacet Discord. We'll be moving on from the Waveworn Phenomena and do a slight deep dive on Tacet Discord. They are sentient beings formed by residual chaotic energy under the Waveworn Phenomena. These creatures are always evolving and always changing without any defined form. All Tacet Discords have a core and are instinctively feeding on other frequencies to maintain stability and evolve. They can mimic abilities and shapes and behaviors of others and are influenced by the type of frequency they consume. There are 5 types of Tacet Discord that have been recorded so far. To know what type they are, we must look at their core. Note, I am ignoring some of the in-game drops because some of them are dropping Whispering cores even though they don't have them. The types of Tacet Discord are Whispering, Howlers, Tranquilite, Clamorling, and Statusoid. Special thanks to Slotho for putting together the Reddit thread on Tacet Discord. I'll be using it as reference with my own interpretation and thoughts added. It'll be linked in the description below. The Whispering are humanoid in feature with human-like characteristics such as Axeman, Archer, Flutist, Shieldbearer, and many more. Their core looks like a 4-sided star. The Howlers are beast type, based on animals or nature. Just because they don't howl does not mean they're not a howler. These creatures range from wolves, birds, fish, and even a plant. Their core is circular with lines like a ripple from the middle, giving it a rose-like shape. For Tranquilites, Statusoid, and Clamorling, it will be my own interpretation as it isn't very clear what they are from the name. Tranquilites are undisturbed and unmoving by their original nature before becoming a Tacet Discord. Think of the word tranquil, meaning free from disturbance. So far, they're mostly ores and rocks. Their core is very polygonic with sharp edges and multiple smaller layers that also have sharp edges. For Statozoid, we could think of it as electrical components that gain robotic form. If you split the name into static, meaning electrical disturbance, and roid, short for android, it makes a bit more sense. These creatures could range from cars, traffic light, turrets, and probably many more. The core looks first very polygonic, with sharp edges, but the layers have some circular features to them. Clammerling is a bit weird. The only Clammerling Tacet Discord that we know of is the Mech Abomination. The reason we know it's a Clammerling is due to its drop description. Its core is said to be stacked in disorder and is very complex. If we think of the term clamor meaning to cluster together, like it's an amalgamation of multiple things, an abomination if you will, it's easier to understand. That was all for the types of Tacet Discord. They are then split into classes which are Common, Elite, Overlord, and Calamity. There is speculation that there's an evolution chain as they go from lower tier to higher tier. An example is Crownless, an Overlord evolving into Dreamless, a Calamity. However, the description suggests that they are different entities, so I don't know how much this thought holds. Moving on, we have the Threnodian. They are described as creatures with the power to destroy the human spirit and feed off their collapsed will. They are the collective dark side of humanity's consciousness. The only one we know is the Threnodian of War, Overthrax. This is my speculation, but I believe this might be expanded to a concept of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. If not 4, it would be 6, one for each nation we explore. Let's move forward to the ones that a lot of people have questions on, Resonators. They are superhuman beings with the ability to resonate with certain things in existence and manipulate flat frequency. You can identify Resonators by their Tacet marks. Tacet marks are formed during their awakening. A Resonator's awakening happens when they're stimulated to the point of needing that power or it coming to them naturally. They resonate with a frequency that is influenced by their life experiences and subconsciousness. I'll provide examples later. The frequency they resonate with determines their power, also known as forte. Their forte is also related to what they experience during the process of their awakening. An example of this is during Baiju's awakening, she experienced a strong urge to revive a teammate, resulting in the frequency manifesting as a creature called Yotan. During a Resonator's awakening, the Resonator's main frequency can resonate with other frequencies to form a pattern. This is called a resonance spectrum pattern. This pattern tells you what the Resonator's power is closely related to throughout the entire world. This includes things in the past. It also explains the physical mutation on the Resonator's body. For example, the scales on Ji Yan's face, the scale on Jin Xi's face, Qi Sha's hair originally blue turning red, Mortefi's right hand, and many more. There are currently 3 types of Resonators, natural, mutant, and congenital. There's a scientific convention called Babel's curve. However, currently it's an overglorified term of saying waveform grab of the resonator frequency fluctuation. Their descriptions are a bit complicated, but I'm going to show you in the most simple way of looking at it. Natural is a gradual rise, mutant is a steep rise, congenital is periodic. For natural resonators, we have Kakuro, Zhangxin, Lingyang, Taoqi, Yang, and Yuanwu. For mutant resonators, we have Baizhi, Xisha, Danjin, Jiyan, Mortefi, and Sanhua. For congenital, we have Alto, Encore, Farina, and Yinlin. Although there are only 3 types of documented resonators, I believe there's a 4th type of resonator called artificial. These resonators are mainly from Fraxidus, made through integration of Tacet Discord parts into their body. There's some clues about it in the main story from Jin Xi and from drops in the game. However, there aren't many details regarding them, so I won't be giving any insight on this today. Moving forward will be my speculation on the 3 types of resonators classification that should be easier to understand than just a chart. Let's first start with natural resonators. Think of it as starting from nothing and acquiring it through accumulation of training and hard work. There has been multiple instances of this shown in the list of natural resonators that we have. You can think of it as an accumulation of power in their body through rigorous training, waiting for a trigger to awaken it. Although most awakening times are unknown, these examples will be my speculation from their backstory. Kakuro awakened his power when he needed it for survival. His experience would be as a mercenary that constantly took on dangerous missions. Another example would be Zhang Xin, her experience as a monk and martial artist. Her awakening happened during meditation and becoming one with nature. For Lin Yang, he was exposed to harsh environments in the past and had advanced skills and ability in combat during that time. He most likely awakened as a form of survival in those harsh environments. Next, we have mutant resonators. I believe these are emotional and or environmental trauma that triggered their awakening. That instance awakened their power as a form of response. For Ji Yan, it was an awakening in a military camp in Desert Rock Highlands. These are my thoughts, but I believe his wish to protect his comrades and his background as a doctor was answered by the Teal Qinglong. The Teal Qinglong is a guardian divine beast that represents nature, health, and healing. For Qi Sha, she awakened when exposed to extreme temperature and blazing flames. For Mortefi, his awakening was accompanied by a surge of intense anger. Moving on to congenital resonators, they already had the abilities of a resonator since birth and just needed a small push for the power to manifest. Periodic waveform has a constant wavelength and frequency, constant up and down with no major changes needed to be a resonator. Some examples are Yinlin, Encore, and Alto. For Yinlin, she is said to be a resonator as a baby. If you have Intimacy 3 with her and read her backstory, named Born from Ashes, it states that she's a baby from these parts of the story. Encore seems to possess the ability also at a very young age. When she lost her mom, her full power manifested in the form of Cosmos and Cloudy, the two dolls to help her fill the gap that was left behind. For Alto, during his birth there was a rare occurrence of heavy fog, probably a reason why he has mist-like powers as a resonator. We'll be moving on to overclocking. Overclocking happens to a resonator when their mental capacity is overloaded. When this happens, the resonator loses control of their power. The side effects of overclocking are comatose episode, further physical mutation, and spread of erosion caused by tacit discord. These last two side effects I'm going to go over are kinda weird. I think it's most likely false and the character is lying, but it's still worth a mention if it's true. From a quest, we are introduced to a character named Lian Feng. We learn that two other side effects of overclocking are complete altering of a resonator's personality and the complete loss of memory. However, as we proceed through the quest, the tone in the text from this character feels like a complete lie. Even though I think Lian Feng is lying, I am 100% going to use this copium to theory craft something in the future. Why? Because it sounds fun. It turns out that I might not have time to make an in-depth analysis on everything in Wuthering Waves since their world is so big. So for every video, I'll have some small snips of my analysis and speculation moving forward, and sometimes near the end of the video, I'll have something called the speculation snippet. For this video speculation snippet, I want to do a small dive into Divine Beast. Divine Beast in Wuthering Wave seems to be based off of the Taoist Chinese mythos. The Divine Beasts are the Teal Qinglong of the east, the White Tiger of the west, the Vermilion Bird of the south, the Black Tortoise of the north, and the Yellow Dragon of the center. We already know 2 to 4 representations that are based off of the Divine Beast, Ji Yan for the Teal Qinglong and Chang Li for the Vermilion Bird. Although Chang Li needs to be verified officially, but based off of what I saw so far as of recording this, it seems to be fairly accurate. So, we can expect 1 to 3 more representation based on these Divine Beasts coming soon. They can be characters or creatures if we assume the Bell-born Geokelani represents the Black Tortoise. For Lin Yang, he could represent the White Tiger due to his appearance, but his lore seems to point him being a lion rather than a tiger. For Jinxi, I do not think she represents the Yellow Dragon, as I believe her spectrum pattern is closest to Jue, one of the 6 Sentinels. We don't know much details about Sentinels, so I can't really say if Jue is a Yellow Dragon or not. The reason for this is because the Yellow Dragon's actual name in the mythos is Huanglong, the same as the nation in Wuthering Waves. I hope this explains some of the basic terms in Wuthering Waves lore, and the little bonus at the end was a fun speculation for you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. If there are any other terms you'd like me to explain, please let me know in the comments below. This is Jin checking out. I hope you look forward to my next video.